everybody, and welcome back to another Pokemon Challenge video. Last time we did our first ROM hack in the infamous Pokemon Quartz. It was a lot of fun and very interesting to say the least. So today, we're gonna finish off a little mini-series we're doing with our quest to find the best Kanto starter to take on the Johto region. Bulbasaur did really good, but struggled with Red, and Charmander did it all a bit worse, but was able to do everything at the end at a lower level. How will Squirtle do? I think he's gonna do the best. Squirtle's stats are really solid for being a base starter Pokemon. It has really good defenses, and not bad attacking stats either. The speed as always is lacking, but with the coverage it gets, that might not matter. Right out of the gate, Squirtle gets Withdraw to raise its defense, and even gets Bite early on. And with TM, Squirtle will have Ice Punch right after Bugsy, the second gym, and Surf right after Whitney. Ice coverage is super important in Johto, and may make the world of a difference. As always, the rules are going to remain the same. No items in battle. Held items and any kind of Pokeball for HM users are fair game, however. Only the Squirtle we start the game with is allowed to be used in battle. HM users are fine outside of battle, but only Squirtle's allowed to fight, and I'm not allowed to evolve it. And lastly, we must defeat Pokemon Trainer Red, obviously. I think we're about to see a little turtle absolutely ruin this game, and it's gonna be pretty awesome to see. But who knows what roadblocks we might run into. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, it'd be really awesome if you left a quick like down below. And maybe even a nice comment like these guys. Shout out to Jan Mega, Aiden Chambers, and Bunnerflurgs. Thanks so much for watching. I'm glad to see you guys enjoying the videos. With that being said, let's jump into this and see which Kanto starter truly is the best for beating Pokemon Crystal by itself. We begin our adventure as a young boy named Blue. Green used Bulbasaur, and Red used Charmander. Let's finish this trio off. Once we reach Cherry Grove, I open our PC and find a baby Squirtle named Steve. Steve easily beats our rival's Chikorita, and we tell the police his name was Judas. Then we make our way to Violet City for our first gym challenge, versus the flying type gym leader, Faulkner. Squirtle starts much better than Charmander and Bulbasaur did with the move Withdraw, something to boost his stats with. Steve puts a little bowl on his head, and apparently this makes his defense so high that Faulkner wasn't able to take him down, even with him being only level 11. There's the Zephyr badge. 1 down, 15 more to go. And not long after, he gets Water Gun and then Bite. 2 fantastic upgrades, just in time for the second gym challenge, versus the Bug-type gym leader, Bugsy. And Withdraw's the strategy here as well. I want to see just how low of a level I can be and overcome all of these gym battles. And since he leads with his Metapod in Generation 2, it's the perfect Pokemon to withdraw against. Unfortunately, at level 18, Scyther will have to miss Fury Cutter at least 1 time to be able to survive long enough to take it down. It took a few tries, but it finally missed Fury Cutter just 1 time, and that was enough to take Bugsy down. There's the Hive badge. 2 down, 14 more to go. And despite our rival Judas having his Chikorita evolved into Bayleaf, Steve made an absolute joke of him, one-shotting Ghastly with Bite, and then critting and flinching Bayleaf, and then dodging its Poison Powder. It got a critical hit Razor Leaf though, but at that point, it didn't matter. On the way to Goldenrod City, I grabbed the odd egg and put it in the PC. We'll get it out later. And in Goldenrod City, Steve gets a big upgrade in Ice Punch and Return. Perfect for our next gym challenge, versus the normal type gym leader, Whitney. On our first attempt, I have Steve begin to use Withdraw, and Clefairy got really lucky with Metronome, pulling multi-hit moves in Fury Swipes and Barrage back to back. Those are the worst case scenario when setting up our defense. But luckily, it missed its own double slap. We easily 2-shot Clefairy with Return, and then the real threat in Miltank comes out. Rollout got a critical hit twice in a row, quickly ending that run. The next attempt, Clefairy is the one pulling out the critical hits, getting not 1, not 2, but 3 before Steve took it out. I almost just reset the fight right there, but I decided to go with Ice Punch for Miltank, thinking I might be able to freeze it. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but Steve got a critical hit of his own, and then it missed Rollout. It heals up with Milk Drink, but it started another rollout chain, and got frozen solid by Ice Punch. narrowly winning the fight. There's the plane badge. 3 down, 13 more to go. And once we reach Ecruteak, Steve gets an even bigger upgrade in his best attack the entire game, with HMO3 Surf. This quickly shows by drowning our rival Judas, one-shotting Haunter, Magnemite, and Zubat with 2 Ice Punches for his Bailey. Making it time for our next gym challenge versus the Ghost-type gym leader Morty. And Morty was even worse than Judas, with Steve one-shotting Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar with a critical hit, and then 2 more to finish his final Haunter off. There's the Fog badge. 4 down, 12 more to go. We clear out Team Rocket and Mahogany and have our 5th gym challenge right after, versus the Ice-type gym leader Price. His Seal and Dugong take several hits from return, but Steve takes them down without much issue, and one quick serve puts his Ground-type Piloswine out of commission. There's the Glacier badge. 5 down, 11 to go. In Cianwood, we pick up the medicine for the disgraceful Pokemon in the lighthouse, and have our next gym challenge while we're at it, versus the Fighting-type gym leader Chuck. He gets pretty lucky with Hypnosis and then me staying asleep the first few attempts, but once he decides Mind Reader for Dynamic Punch was unnecessary and then misses Hypnosis, Chuck's time was finished. There's the Storm badge. 6 down, only 10 more to go. And with Jasmine back at her gym, we're alone with Ampharos and able to slice it into a bunch of tiny little pieces. Dinner is served. She's none the wiser, happily starting our next gym challenge versus the Steel-type gym leader Jasmine. And it was indeed Surf, Surf, Surf. What else did you expect? There's the Mineral badge. 7 down, only 1 more to go here in the Johto region. And now it's time to get ready for a takeover! Nobody's gonna get it. The rival battle with Judas in the basement of Goldenrod went perfectly as well, with absolutely no issues whatsoever. Confusion is a wicked thing. But apart from that hiccup, it went perfectly the second time around. And the rest of the Rocket takeover was pretty pitiful as well. They are nothing without their boss Rocket. With that done, we quickly scoot on over through the ice path to Blackthorn City, picking up the Nevermelt Ice for our 8th and final Johto Gym Challenge versus the Dragon-type gym leader Claire. And with Squirtle having access to Ice Punch, this fight is an absolute breeze. We failed to one-shot her Dragonair consistently, so I used a rare candy I picked up to make it consistent. And with her Kingdra being the only thing we don't one-shot, a little bit of accuracy luck, finish this Dragon Master off. There's the Rising badge. That's all 8 badges of the Johto region in our possession. It's time to head to the Pokemon League. But first, I stop by Cherry Grove City and pick up the odd egg. Comment down below and guess the closest town in relation to where you think this egg is gonna hatch. I'll give a shout out to the first person to get it right the next time we get an egg in a challenge run. Also, guess what Pokemon it's gonna be. Shout out to Rex Reap 711 for being the first to get it right in the Kecleon video. Nice work! And before we can reach the Pokemon League, we have one final rival battle with Judas. And he's absolutely no different than any other time. His Meganium has only ever tried to use Poison Powder on Steve, and it just isn't the right move to make, as he easily cleans up his entire team. Steve's only level 52, but I'm feeling kinda crazy, and kinda wanna see if he can do it at this level. Oh, yeah, I mean, he is a base form starter Pokemon after all, and 52 is underleveled for the Pokemon League. How about we get an upgrade to Ice Punch and a couple of levels? I went and got Blizzard at the Game Corner and got Steve leveled up to 58. Let's give it another shot. First up's the Psychic Master Will. Blizzard one-shots his lead Xatu that took us out last time, and does the same to Exeggutor right after. The only Pokemon of his that stood a chance was his Slowbro, and Return took care of it without issue with several hits. Next up is the Poison Master Koga. He too doesn't stand much of a chance against the almighty Steve. He missed Blizzard multiple times against his Crobat, but once it connected, that fight was finished. The Fighting Master Bruno was next, and I witnessed something kind of odd with his Machamp. I don't think I've ever seen this before. First of all, his attachment to Dig makes him an easy beat for Steve by getting a free withdraw against it while it's underground. Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee are also no big threat, but when his Machamp used Cross Chop, It was like the game was having a hard time deciding if it was a critical hit or not. Maybe it was an emulator thing, but it was like, cross chop, no kill, wait, cross chop, kill! But the next try, he didn't crit, and that's all she wrote for Bruno. And the final member of the Elite Four is the Dark Master, Karen. Several hits from Surf take her lead Umbreon down, while it lowers Steve's accuracy with Sand Attack and confused him. Luckily, he hits through both of those things, however, being able to take Umbreon out, and then her Vileplume with Blizzard. Gengar puts a curse on him, and then he misses, but then it only licks him as he takes it down. Blizzard hits Murkrow, taking it out, and then Surf one-shots her Ace Houndoom, only leaving one battle left versus the Dragon Master, Champion Lance. How irritated would you be if you were a grown man, champion of your home region, and a little boy walks into your throne room with a little Squirtle he calls Steve and completely makes an absolute mockery of you? A baby Squirtle who isn't even a high level just beats you. Imagine how Lance feels right now. Who cares? We just became the champion of the Johto region with a single Squirtle named Steve. But we're not done yet. We have the Kanto region and Pokemon Trainer Red. And as always, the only main threat in Kanto is the 16th and final gym leader versus Blue. Wait, we're Blue. And we're definitely the better Blue. He never stood a chance. Steve ruined him without any issue at all. Only leaving one final battle versus Pokemon Trainer Red. So we scale Mount Silver and come face to face. Oh, perfect timing, Odd Egg! Our Odd Egg hatched into a shiny Cleffa. If you said shiny Cleffa on Mount Silver, you were exactly right. And while I would love to do this fight with Steve at an unbelievably low level, it isn't really feasible right now. With him being level 70, he gets outsped even by Venusaur, and Pikachu almost immediately KOs him with Thunder. We're gonna need to train, but let's see if I can get Steve to do this. Lower than our Charmander did. Charmander was level 77, so I took Steve to level 76. And now we can one-shot Pikachu with Surf if it misses Charm or Thunder. I also taught Steve Ice Beam. This does over half to Venusaur, and since we now outspeed, it only charges Solar Beam before getting taken out. But then comes his Espeon. This thing's a monster. It does a massive amount of damage with Psychic, and we can't do a lot of damage to it in return, getting taken out pretty quickly. And even if we beat Espeon, we have Snorlax and Blastoise to deal with. And they are something we don't have anything for. But then I decided to check Steve's hidden power, and it's good for something. So I give it another shot with 2 new moves, and Dynamic Punch and Hidden Power. And think, maybe if we can freeze Espeon immediately, we can do this with a little bit of luck. Steve takes Pikachu and Venusaur out the same way as before, and Espeon comes back out. It sets up Reflect this time, which is bad, but better than the massive damage from Psychic. And then Steve freezes it solid with Ice Beam. It stays frozen solid long enough to be taken out with Surf, and Steve is still at full hit points for Snorlax. This is why I taught Dynamic Punch. It's weakened because of the Reflect, but it'll always confuse Snorlax, and is a physical, super effective hit. It hurts itself in confusion not just once, but twice in a row, and then I go for Surf to finish it off. But it fails to do so, leaving it with just a sliver. I'm afraid he's gonna heal, but didn't want to risk Dynamic Punch again, so I used Hidden Power in a panic, and he didn't heal, taking Snorlax down. Then his Blastoise comes out, and all it can do to me is apparently Surf, which hardly does anything. And Hidden Power Electric does a ton of damage, easily taking Blastoise out after several hits. And with his final Pokemon being his Charizard, Red was all out of chances, as Surf and then Hidden Power finishes Pokemon Trainer Red off. There you have it! We just beat Pokemon Crystal, only using a single Squirtle in battle. And that rounds off this trio. Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle have all conquered Pokemon Crystal by themselves, and Squirtle did it the best. And for Steve's incredible effort, I let him evolve into Wartortle and then Blastoise. And we have won this game! These runs were definitely pretty easy for the most part. But as always, it was a ton of fun to use Pokemon from another generation in another generation where you don't normally get to see them very often. Who knows, maybe it could be a lot of fun taking the Johto starters through the Hoenn region. Let me know what you think. I upload Pokemon challenges just like this one every single weekend on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and maybe even sometimes other days too, just like this one. So if you haven't done so already and want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for more. And of course, leaving a quick like down below and a nice comment also goes a really long way to help support the video and the channel if you did enjoy it. And who knows, maybe I'll even feature your comment in a future Pokemon challenge run of mine. And of course, be sure to suggest future challenges you would like to see down below in the comments as well. If you would like to watch another Pokemon challenge run from me, how about checking out one I did on Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the upgraded version of Pokemon Crystal, where I played through as Tracy Sketchit from the Pokemon anime. Or maybe just check out the playlist containing all the Pokemon challenges I've done thus far, so you can pick one out for yourself. You can find a link to both of those things over here. With that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, as always, and hopefully I'll get to see you next time for another Pokemon Challenge run. Until then, hopefully I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching!